here. All right, so this is the first time that I've really used this software myself. So, you know, it's a learning experience for all of us. Okay, so I don't know. So I've recorded this, so I'll upload it there so we can look at it. All right, let me see this. All right, so you were using the Element browser, right? Range. Oh, hold on. Okay. All right, so let's look at memory location. So there we go. That's it right there, cast builder. So then you can look at D0. Is that a dot or a colon 0 there? Colon 0, yeah. D0 colon 0, and then you can give that a name. So you can call this like bit 0 of D0. And now we can access that. I don't know. Is there another way? I mean, can you see like all the bits together? Do you know? Has anybody found that? All right. So yeah, so that's how we can use a single bit out of it. All right. So any other comments or suggestions or whatever? Is that what you were looking at, Brian? I was having trouble seeing it when you were doing it. Here's the blackboard. It shows up so small on Blackboard there. Yeah. So I guess we can just type them in there too, is what you're saying. Can you do one? Okay, so that's interesting. So I wonder, can we move? Let's see. Can I move more than one bit? Can I do like something like V0 colon 1-3? Well, let me do that. So this will allow me to move one bit. There might be, if we go under here though, there's probably some bit. Yeah, there's some more bit control over here. Like here is to move a single bit. So yeah, if we go through here, I'm sure there's a lot more tools to work with various bits and stuff. So I just haven't I haven't had a whole lot of chance to play with this. I've been trying to create this virtual system here. You know, I've been playing with the software, but my goal at that had been to just simply to get this simulation working. So, you know, so we could have this going here. Oh, okay. And I mean, you know, and you learned something, and you've taught it to me now because I would have maybe had never figured that out, and so and now I understand how to do the bits. So I appreciate that. I learned something by you trying to do it a different way. So you know, nothing wrong with that. So let's see. Now this is I don't know why FX4. Did I not reset that? Because I was messing with that bit, so I messed my ladder logic up now. Oh, yeah, this was supposed to be X4. Okay. So remember, if you press these buttons, they stay down. If you press X0, it should be resetting everything. I don't know if I don't see it resetting. Ah, I guess I'm not presenting again. Sorry. Too many windows to look at. Okay, it's trying to reconnect here. Hopefully it doesn't crash. Okay, well, can you guys at least still hear me? Because it's kind of like frozen up here at the moment. I can see my head move on the camera screen. Okay. There it comes. I'm not sure why turning those both on should make it crash, Dave. I mean, I've got both of them on here, and of course it's not working quite like it should. By the way, I found, you know, when you click on this close here, it's asking if you want to close. I find hit cancel there, flip back to this screen and hit the do more button, I think works better. At least I seem to find it works better for me. Okay, so yeah, so I've got this X0 here, which is supposed to be forcing a restart. And just to see here, I'm going to put my flip time here. And my gain. Okay, and I'm going to run this simulation here. Okay, so those should be running. So if I press F4, I don't know what I did to my X4. It doesn't seem to be working correctly anymore. Okay. All right, so if I hit X0 now, it should be rerunning scan 1, but it's not resetting these values. It should reset these values. So that reset doesn't seem to be working. Yeah, Matt, it is. But then again, it's free, so I can't complain too much. You know, I would be using the Allen Bradley, but it's kind of hard there. I haven't had it crash too many times. It has crashed a couple times for me, but I don't know why, but it hasn't. I even have it running on Linux. I did a lot today using Linux, running the emulator in Linux and had it working in there. So it popped up errors every time I restarted it, but I was able to just hit the retry button and it connected. So I was pretty thrilled with that. But yeah, it's, you know, it's got some issues, but it hopefully we can struggle along with it here these last couple labs done. So like I say, you know, let me review couple things here. Okay, so number one, like I say, I find that when you want to do simulation, click this button, and then when you want to stop the simulation, click this button over here again. Don't try to close the window. That did seem to be one of the things that tended to make it crash for me. As far as looking at the bits, okay, so if you right click over here, go to Element Browser, there's this thing called hide show or hide cast. And this gives you like bit settings on these values. Okay. To use a bit out of a word, so like say for instance here where I'm using like wk13, right, which is a it's an analog input, so it's a integer. So if I wanted to just use 1 bit of wx5, because I wasn't presenting there before, we can access that. You know, if I came over here and say grab a contact or something, and then when I put in like wx5:0, that'll be just the least significant bit of that integer. Okay, so that's how you can access 1 bit inside of an entire value. That's what Brian was kind of showing us there. Okay, so I just want to make sure that everybody got that. And as far as doing the closed loop, you do an expression, a math calculate expression, and you just take your gain. I call this gain times 10. And so I'm dividing it by 10, and that again has given me some more adjustment. If you guys want to, you can do a divide by 100 here, but remember you need to divide by 10.0, or if you're going to do 100, divide by 100.0 to make it a floating point value. Okay, and then you take your set point. So it's, you know, the gain value, which is wx6, your analog input 6, and then you divide by this, and then your set point minus your, basically the voltage across the capacitor, your RLCK value. That I named it RLCK. That's my process variable. Okay, if you don't like my tag names, you can change them. I'm not, you know, too stuck on them, but I will be using them for next week's lab, where we're going to do PI and PID control. The data table, you come over to the right rail, do a right click, go to element browser. Okay, and then you can type in a variable, or if you wanted to like see all the reals, you click down here. These are all the reals that I've named, and then you can click on them and you can see what numbers they're associated with. Okay, so now when you look here, you see like RLCK was 5, but RLCK1 is like, well, that's 6, I guess, but this one is like 12. The reason I did that was because in the simulator, you can only see 0 through 7. And so I didn't want to really look at RLCK2. So that's why I did that. Oh, I see, yeah. This over here element is the data tag, the data button. Whoops, if you press it multiple times, you get multiple ones of them apparently. Okay, so yeah, so you press this data, that shows them to you over here. And the nice thing is over here, you can just, it doesn't matter if they're an integer or even like a timer. So if you wanted to see like timer 0 dot accumulator, and you could watch the accumulator or something over here. So it doesn't matter what these are. They could be bits or integers or reals, analog ins, analog outs, and you can list them over here. That's why I kind of like that one. So yeah, that's here on this data tag. Any other questions there? Okay, so I'll upload the document so that you can edit it, and then you'll be able to upload it back in for your lab. That is due next week. Thursday will be lab day. The recording, it'll take half an hour or something for it to be prepared and for me to get it uploaded. All right, so the nice thing about the recordings is you can fast forward back and forth through them, so you don't have to watch the whole thing again. So, all right. Any other questions?